asked Kirby about C.J. Allen, but just what did you see from him out there, the way he was able to play in the game?
C.J. Allen played a great game. It's kind of what we expected from him, knowing the type of guy he is, how hard he works, and how hard he studies and trains. But yeah, he played a great game, and I kind of expected it from him.
Yeah, Mykel, Coach was talking about he feels like you're playing your best football right now due to the fact that you kind of had a slow spring, didn't really get involved in a slow camp. Do you feel like you're playing your best football right now?
Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm adjusting well now. Like kind of getting back into the flow of things, and just can't wait to see what the future has ahead.
Just kind of building off that CJ point, you played a lot of games as a freshman, started a lot of games. Malachi did, CJ did. Just in general, what does it take for a true freshman to start, especially at a place like University of Georgia?
Really just focus and attention to detail. You do those two things, you come in with the right attitude and you're ready to work, you should be fine.
Speaking of freshmen, I feel like a guy we've gotten to see a little bit, maybe not this past game, but we've gotten to see a lot of Damon Wilson recently. What have you seen from him, and what would your evaluation of his play be, especially he's so young?
Yeah, Damon Wilson is a great player, and he has a bright future. He works really hard, he trains really hard, he's a great pass rusher, and he's going to be a player to watch.
Mykel, looking at Tennessee, they've run the ball really well this year. Just in general, as a defensive lineman, what are the keys to being able to slow down a team that has a lot of success on the ground?
Kind of really just stop the run. We got to win in the trenches. We got to win up front, and it's something we have to do to be able to slow down the run game. So.
What do you remember about the Tennessee game from last year?
They went really fast. They went really fast, and they hit us with a couple of explosives. I believe Jalen Hyde caught a bomb. Yeah, they were explosive and they were really fast.
Yeah, Mykel over here. Coach uses the term getting your cleats in the ground against fast-paced teams like this. What is the key to getting your cleats in the ground and having effective communication?
Exactly that, like getting home and looking for the signal, ready to line up and play ball. You can't mess around and be looking and celebrating, and no, you got to get lined up and get ready to play and strike.
I know this is a guy you've been watching a lot, but Nazir Stackhouse, big time sack to kind of flip the momentum this past Saturday, plus the interception. What have you learned from a guy like that, and how great has it been to see a guy like that make some big time plays these past 2 weeks?
Oh yeah, Nas he's a funny guy. But I learned a lot of great things from Nas, simply like how to strain, like how to push through. And he's been showing up a lot recently, and he deserves it. He's been working hard. Like most of the D-line, really all of us, we stay out there and run extra every practice, and he's been right there with us. So I'm glad to see it pay off for him.
Obviously, senior night this past Saturday, a lot of the guys that you've been alongside for 2 years now, this is their last game in Sanford, stuff like that. Just what has their mentorship and leadership meant to you in your young career so far?
Yeah, it meant a lot, especially guys like, well, all my seniors like Zion Lowe, Chamel Walthour, Warren Branson, Nasir Stackhouse, all those guys, they meant a lot. I learned a lot from them. I learned how to be more of a vet from those guys. I really appreciate everything they taught me.
Did you guys talk about doing better, on the first series on defense? I know other teams have had some success. Is that something that you guys kind of just shake off, or something you guys focus on?
Yeah, that's something you stress. We stress ways to figure out how to start off faster in the first half and in the second. Coming up with a challenge like Tennessee, that's something they do really well. They start off fast and they're explosive fast, and we got to learn how to, or not learn, but we have to affect and control that.
I know Nolan was back in town, and I'm sure it was great to see him, but I also wanted to ask, a guy like Jordan Davis, a guy that was here before you really got to get settled in.
Mm-hmm.
What is it like when these former players, and especially players that you played with, come back? Like, what kind of energy does it really feed you guys, especially before games like Ole Miss?
It's great that you asked that question, because we were kind of talking about this in the locker room before. We seen Nolan. Nolan was in there trying to, get us hyped, being Nolan. He went around screaming. We was like, yeah, ain't no way we're going to lose this game. That's what he said. And then having those guys like Jordan Davis and Malik Herring, all those guys over there just giving us a little leadership, telling us little things like rip and reach, like little techniques, like it helps a lot. And just be able to look over there for their mentorship.
Obviously, you and Marvin were the same recruiting class. Just wanted to see how long you guys have been talking about like lining up on the edges together, and then now that you guys are finally here, lining up on bookends on the defensive line at UGA, how does it feel?
Man, it feels great, and we were talking about it for a while, since high school, and finally have it come to fruition. It's great.
Any more questions for Mykel? All right, thank you.
Appreciate y'all.